an opening statement from Coach.
Thank you. It was a good ball game. I thought we did a lot of good things. We needed it after kind of booting that Thursday one because we should have won that one too, although they played well. Don't want to take anything away from them. But we can't score 5 points in the last 5.5 minutes of a game and miss 5 or 6 free throws at that time. So coming back here and winning, but still we got work to do because we were up, I think, 19 at half, I believe. End up winning 2 points second half. We got to learn to play when you're ahead, and that is you just keep grinding it out, and you don't let you beat them every time, every half, every second, every possession, and we're still working at that, and hopefully I think these young men will, they're getting better, so they keep pushing through and understand that winning is every play, every possession, every ball movement, every shot. Once they know that, then we have a championship type of team because we can play with anybody. So hopefully that's going to occur.
Been home for a couple weeks, back on the road this week for to play Troy, another important game in conference.
Well, this was really important in that if you want to win the regular season, we got to win this game. So it's a very important game that for us to go out there and make sure we bring it. Now, whether we will or isn't, the big prize is always at the end in the tournament. But if they want the regular season title, they've got to come and take this one from Troy there. They're a good ball club. They make threes. They got 4 shooters at threes, and they beat you with threes and hustle. They play hard and they get after you. So, we have to make sure we close up on the 3-point shots and that the 50-50 balls and the rebounds that we're back here battling and we get our share or more than our share, hopefully.
And it's some of the philosophy of your team to tell them, it's not as simple as making and missing shots. The game seems easier when you're making them, but how you respond if you're not making shots, that maybe is the difference between a win and a loss?
Well, when you're not making shots, then it gets tough. This is a basketball, and not that you can't sometimes, but if you rely on not making shots and having a good record at the end of the year, you're in trouble. And I don't care who it is. There's not a defense alive that's that good. But usually, everybody talks about great defenses, and it's usually a slow-down offense that makes great defense. We don't play that way. So we have to make shots. That's the way we play. It's a lot more entertaining. You get more people in the stands, and it's fun to watch. And you can win either way. There's not one way to skin a cat. You can win it either way. But you have to make shots. This game has evolved to where there's so much talent, and these young men have stayed in the gym a lot more than we used to. And they work at it. It's almost a craft to them. It was a recreation for us, and it's a craft for them. And they understand you have to make shots because the other team will if you don't.
Coach, do they have a stronger inside game? I mean, do they need a stronger presence of inside? Because when you look at the ratio of how they cannot get those threes going, is there something where they can't go inside?
Well, now our philosophy is this, and I'm going to take it easy on you. I'm not going to give you the Pittsburgh deal again, but our philosophy is this: layups, free throws, threes. All right. Now on the inside game. And we do some of it. We're not built really for it, number one, in that Nate Martin's 6'8", and he's long and he can get some shots. But you run into guys 15 pounds heavier, 20 pounds heavier, 3 inches taller, and a lot longer reach. And if that's your game, that's going to be a tough one. Even against Coastal, the kid he was 6'10", he weighed about 240. If he had to just go in and play in the post and sumo wrestle the whole game, it would be difficult. So what's Nate's strength? He's quick, he's agile, he's got a good first step, he's a great passer and decision maker. So we bring him out and make him come out. Now, that doesn't mean you can't get inside into the paint, but it's not traditional. It's not the drop it in, go one-on-one and shoot over. But I will give you part of that Pittsburgh thing is that's the worst shot in basketball. So if you're working on it, you go get 0.8 points, 0.8 for every possession that goes in, and that's countrywide, that's averaging all the teams in the country, it's 0.8. If you shoot a three, it's 0.28. If you shoot a free throw, it's 1.6. And then the corner three is 1.28. And then any two is 9.3, I think it used to be. Now, this was about 10 years ago, 5 years ago. Is 9.3. And any other three beats all that. So that's where the guys who do all the stats and said that, you know, it's three, a layup, and a free throw. Those are your best odds of beating people. Now, that doesn't mean you can't take an inside two or, you know, every now and then you drop it into the post. But if that's your main step, well, their main stuff, we played Coastal, was to go into that big kid. That's her leading scorer and everything else. How'd that turn out? Not too good. So it's, you know, you always, sometimes you're going to have games you get beat doing it with that philosophy, but you're going to win more that way than the other way. And so we build our team here to kind of do that. Now, what we do with Nate, dropping him in there might be a little different in that we don't go in there to score as much as we go in to create shots for other people. Because usually when you drop it in there, the defense will sag in, and now you got passing lanes, and you get people open with that. So we try to tell them when you go down in there, and you start that little move into the basket like you've seen when I played, where they're going to try to score over top, that you're actually trying to create a passing angle for your teammate, and you create a shot for him, and then every now and then you get yours. So, you know, it's just a philosophy of basketball. The way it used to be is what you were talking about. We've, you know, I guess, you know, Mike, like I said, Mike told me when he was in Italy and they won 3 Italian championships, he said, I don't know what to tell you, but y'all getting a three-point line, right? This is when it was coming into high school at South Carolina. I said, yeah, they're putting it in next year. He said, well, I can only tell you this. We shot 625 threes. The team that came in second shot 592. The team that came in third shot 575. And the rest of them, 5 through 8, which there were 8 in that league, 5 through 8, if you added all the threes that they took, it didn't add up to what we shot. And we came in first. So figure it out. So I said, okay, God tells me what I need to do. But that's, you know, I understand the philosophy, and, you know, people like me, and if I would probably be still trying to do the other stuff, but I have a bad memory, so all I can remember is what somebody told me today. I forgot what happened yesterday, so I went with what they told me today.
I don't know, you spouted off those numbers pretty well.
Well, they're ingrained with me in that if you, and I might have fudged them a little bit one way or the other, if you go back to the press conference with Pittsburgh. But it's the same, and it's happening here. And these kids are all shooting threes better. There are times you have that drought, and that's where your defense has to really stick in and give you that flow, that transition basket that you can get to the rim. But you got to have the penetrators that can get up and get in there and draw defenses and finish at the rim, or kick out and shoot threes. But you're trying to get to the rim. You're not trying to just drop like you used to, drop down, you post up, you drop it in the post, and he starts working in, trying to score. Just don't do that much anymore. You don't see it much anymore. The one, I guess, that does it the best would be Purdue, but he's 7'6" or 7'4", whatever he is. Yeah, that might be, you know, if I had Shaq, if he was here, we'd be dropping that thing in there. because you look at it, the way you look at it is this: if you just take 10 shots, and if you shoot 3 threes and make them, you get 9 points, right? So how many twos would you have to do to get 9 points? 5? So you'll have to go almost a shot better all the time. And that's over, you know, you take 30 shots, that's about 4 or 5 shots. And then you take 70 shots, now you're talking about 10, 11 shots, 12. That's hard, you know, especially if you got a good defender in there that can defend the rim. So you have to be able to defend the rim, but you also have to have penetrating guards that get up inside have a chance to do layups and do Andy Taylor's and John Elmore's stuff that get up in there. But the flow of the game is out here, and it has to be out here so that they can get up there in the drives. It's not. That's why putting the ball back in Nate's hands was better, because when he doesn't have the ball, his man's in there, and we can't drive because they don't guard him. But when he has the ball, they have to, because if he dribbles at somebody and you come off and his man's staying back, you come off open, you can shoot. So they have to come up, and that way we keep them out of the middle. I don't know if that's basketball. It's not real hard because the coach is doing it, so they're not that smart. So it's not. It's maybe 201, not 400 type of class. You know, basketball only goes to about 200, and that'd be it. That all the coaches have enough intelligence to coach it.
Which, what about is that some of what you're talking about with Kevon? He really was able to get to his spots, and he can create.
Yeah. Now Kevon was a little different animal, and every now and then you have those guys. We took him in more of a two-shot place, but you have to shoot. You have to make sure they shoot over 50-some%, 55%. If they can shoot over 55% at the two level, then you got a chance. Anything under 55, if the other team shoots 35, you get beat. You know, if they're shooting threes, you got to shoot 55%. So it's a tough thing to do. So, you know, but now we were earlier in the year shooting about 25% from threes. That's not good, because now they only have to shoot about 42 from threes, and they'll do that, or twos. They'll do that. But shooting that 55% mark, that's difficult, you know. So.
I know you've talked about his toughness, but how much has Ryan Nutter grown over these last couple of weeks with more playing time?
Well, for a guy that nobody thought could play, he's grown quite a bit, hasn't he? You know, that's what I saw in him when he was here at summer camp. I just saw a heart that beat hard. He's 6'4", he's got good size, he's got good strength. He didn't have a hitch in his shot. I thought if we got him here, he would fit right in there. And you can find players like that out there. How much has he grown? A lot, because this is the first time he's really faced the speed that he's facing. In high school, he was the strongest guy on the floor, so he'd go in there and just bully him up a little bit. He's had to come out here and learn to kind of be a little more finesse and can't just bully. But that heart came with him, and he's got a great head for basketball. And he's going to get better. He's got a good shot. But when you come in as a freshman and you got a lot of firepower around you, you know, and you know that if you make a pass, they got a better chance maybe of making it you, and you're not quite confident yet because you don't know really where you fit in. He's not a starter. He's trying to get minutes. That's a hard shot to take, you know, because if he misses too many, you know where he's going. So, you know, that's a hard shot to take. So he's gotten to where, you know, he's getting a little more comfortable. He turns down some shots. I thought at one time, well, I should tell him, shoot it. I don't care, shoot it. Then I started thinking, I said, you know what, if I do that and he misses a few, he might lose his confidence. Let him play the way he plays, and gradually we'll get him in to where he takes a little quicker shot, because he's going to be capable of doing that. It's just going to be a step method, not just an instant thing. Is that it? All right, man. Thank y'all.